Stereotypes are something that Americans hear and encounter in society every day. These stereotypes come from the different views and opinions that we have on each other. There are both positive and negative stereotypes that can affect people in many different ways. In sports, athletes can be stereotyped on their race, height, or even their gender. Most stereotypes on athletes are often negative. Growing up in America today, almost every person at some point in their life will be an athlete. Stereotypes on athletes are usually focused on cheaters, how black athletes are naturally gifted, and how white athletes are hardworking. As a matter of fact, there is a negative effect on these stereotypes that hurt athletes in their academics. Nobody would ever want to be treated like this or categorized by a stereotype. Stereotypes of athletes are often negative and they depict a false image of who the athlete actually is. There are many common stereotypes that you will hear about an athlete. Athletes can be viewed as cheaters, lesbians, jocks, and being soft or lazy. When athletes are categorized as being cheaters, that usually stems from them being accused of using steroids or other performance enhancing drugs to boost their career. The way that this type of accusation could come about is possibly from recording almost impossible statistics to blowing away all your competition. Being considered a cheater makes you subject to get a lot of attention from the media and outside world, especially if you're a highly coveted athlete. Stereotypes on athletes appear all around the media. The biggest media platform that you will see these kind of stereotypes on would be social media. Since many athletes use social media, it is not uncommon for them to face things like this on a daily basis. For example, a 17-year-old kid looked at Twitter to ask MLB player Chris Davis if he was taking steroids. Just because Chris Davis is having an extremely good year and his statistics are off the charts compared to what his career stats are, people assume he is cheating by using steroids. Alex Rodriguez, the former third baseman of the Seattle Mariners, Texas Rangers, and New York Yankees, was accused of using steroids his whole baseball career. As a matter of fact, he was so good that people just assumed he was on steroids because they didn't think it was possible to reach milestones as easily as A-Rod did. According to CNN, A-Rod has told reporters that I'm fighting for my life and that this is a nightmare after allegations were made that he was a cheater. There are also many videos on social media like Instagram where he's being booed by both Red Sox and Yankees fans making his season debut after these allegations. The stereotype ruined A-Rod's career, although he has passed every drug test that he had taken during his career. A-Rod being stereotyped as a cheater by using steroids has turned into one of the biggest jokes sports will ever see. In his memes, A-Rod turns into Aroid and people use him as a public figure when other professional baseball players are accused of cheating. Things like this on social media made A-Rod go from being the most liked player in the MLB to the most hated player in the MLB. Another type of media where stereotypes on athletes are present is sports media. Sports media can be found in news like newspapers and on television like ESPN. The stereotype present in sports media is about black and white athletes. The stereotype talks about how white athletes are smarter than black athletes and how black athletes are naturally athletic. The media says that because of this, black athletes aren't suited to play QB because they lack the knowledge that you need to play the position. Almost every stereotype we hear today is going to be negative, no matter how you put it. Based on a study done at Stanford University, it shows that stereotypes on athletes have a negative effect on student athletes in the classroom. Many people would never think that stereotypes on athletes would cause any harm, but they're wrong. The study shows that there are some athletes that suffer from the dumb jock stereotype in the classroom. This stereotype threat particularly affects males more than it does females. A stereotype threat is when a person's performance goes down because they are anxious about the way that they are viewed by other people. Over time, the stereotypes on athletes have become more present in everyday life. The stereotype has evolved more and more into racial profiling. In the past, we have made these stereotypes saying that white athletes can't do this or African American athletes can't do that. For example, a study done by analyzing football broadcasters in the 1970s showed that white players are more likely to be praised for a good play, while black players are more likely to be criticized for a bad play. A follow up study in 2005 on collegiate football and basketball showed that white players had more positive comments on intellect, while black players had more negative comments on their intellect and character. Stereotypes are present and will continue to be present in sports. We as athletes just need to remember that stereotypes are only as powerful as we let them be. Many of these stereotypes are slowly being broken. Although, some of these stereotypes may limit what athletes might be able to accomplish because if told that they cannot do something, they will believe that they will never be able to accomplish it.